princesses! Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me featuring some of the products from the Etude House Rose Wine collection. There's the eyeshadow palette as well as the lipsticks. I'm pretty sure that's all they came out with for this Rose Wine collection. So I added a few more of the new things like the Etude House Heart Cookie blushes that I have in the collection at the moment as well. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, then please just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the base, which is going to be the Missha Radiance Perfect Fit Cushion Foundation. I have mine in the shade number 19 Ivory, which I think is just a touch too light for me at the moment. It does seem like a really nice yellowy kind of colour though. So I find that if I just apply a little bit less of the product than I think I need, it actually does work out to be the okay colour because I'm sharing it out a little bit. So when it's not fully applied, I can make it work for me. However, obviously I do miss out on a bit of coverage. That's okay. At the moment my skin isn't too terrible. It's probably a bit like under moisturized at the moment, but I haven't had any breakouts recently, so I'm just dealing with the old scarring, which is fine. So that one dab of product does like half of my face, which is great. I mean, like, definitely helping to conserve the product that way. I do think that this is quite a nice foundation. At the time that I'm filming this video, I've worn it quite a few times. I haven't noticed any terrible longevity problems, honestly. I don't think it's super great though. There were a few times that I wore it, like the first 1 or 2 times, where my skin did get quite oily after wearing it for an extended amount of time. But it's Sunday today and I wore it on Friday I put it on at 7:30 p.m. and I got home on it was about just a little bit past 10. So by the time I took it off, it had been on for quite a number of hours. So that's like 11.5 hours. And it still looked fine. Obviously it wasn't entirely intact, but it wasn't like melting off my face, and that's kind of like what I'm looking for. So this is how we're looking. It is slightly on the lighter side. So it's just a bit bright, but that's fine. If I really cared that much about it, I would just put on some bronzer, but I don't care that much about it, so I'm not going to. So then obviously I'm going to powder using my normal powder, which is the Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I'm debating whether I'm going to be bothered to fix my bangs today still. Obviously you would have already seen if I did or not, because I put the introduction before I start doing the makeup so that you know what it looks like. That may, if you guys are not interested in how the finished looks like, then you don't have to sit through me blabbering away about literally nothing. I don't know, that's how I like to watch content, you know, like someone's going to be doing a get ready with me. I want to see what they look like so that I want to know if I want to watch the video. Love this powder. I have also been using that EG Lips powder as well, but this is still like my go-to. Now I'm going to be doing my brows using the Innisfree two-tone brow kit in grey, and I'm going to use the darker colour along with my Zoeva Rose Golden Brow Line Brush, which is a 322, which is like super dirty. I don't know what to do with it because like it's the gold part, like it's the handle that's dirty, not the actual bristles. So I keep the actual brush part really clean, but the handle, like, if it was anything else, I would probably use like isopropyl alcohol on it, like a rubbing alcohol, to get rid of, because it's like, it's not just dirt, it's kind of like sticky in a way, although it is starting to crack and things. Maybe I need to replace them. But because it's got foiling on it for the lettering and things and the numbers, I don't want to use a rubbing alcohol on it because it will just come all the way off. That will not be good. So I'm going to zoom you in to do the eyes. I'm going to do one of them first because I'm going to be using the Etude House Rose Wine palette, and I haven't really used it, so I'm going to practice on one eye first and then I'll show you how I did whatever look I'm going to do. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. I don't hate it, but I also don't particularly love it. So I used a few shades from obviously this Etude House palette. One of them is like this one here. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's so soft. It literally just keeps crumbling. I don't know what to do with it. So the first shade I'm going to use is called Rose Macaroon, and it is this one here. I'm going to put this into the crease. Then I'm going to put 100-Year-Old Oak Barrel, which is this dark brown, into the outer third. Just a little touch of that. And then I used 2 sparkly colours. So I used Sweet Rosé, which is that really stupidly soft one, pretty much on the inner half, of the eyelid, and then a tiny bit of Clink, which is this really interesting like big glitter shade. I put this on the very center of the top and the bottom eyelid for a little bit of extra dimension. I liked it a lot more when I didn't have Clink on, to be honest, because Clink, it's like a really red kind of glitter, and the actual eye look itself surprisingly wasn't that red, even though that rose macaroon, I guess it looks quite brown on camera. In real life it looks kind of like more pink, so I was expecting it to be a bit more pink, but that's okay. I find that especially if I don't use the palettes beforehand, like it's super hard to tell what is going to happen, but I just haven't had the time to play with this one at the moment because I've had a lot of other things to do recently that we're not going to go into, otherwise I will just end up complaining in the entire video, which happens a bit. I quite enjoy this palette so far. I mean, I've only done one eye look with it, but it's pretty easy to use. Even this like darker 100-year-old oak barrel, it's quite a dark brown, but I did find it pretty easy to blend. So as long as you just have a really, really light hand and don't plonk on too much at the very beginning, it's still fine to work with. Remember, with eyeshadows, you can always go back and add more, but when you have a darker shade and you're trying to blend it out into nothing, that's really hard. So I put a tiny bit on the lower lash line as well of that dark brown. And then what I like to do as well is, of course, go back in with the lighter colour that I first used in the crease and then just blend everything out. Sometimes I use a little bit of a finger to help as well, because if I need a bit more blending power, sometimes just smudge it with my finger. I also clean the brushes off with a little brush cleaner. This one is like one from AliExpress. It's like, wasn't even $1, I think. And it works perfectly well, so why spend money if you don't have to? Certainly don't have disposable income for that right now. And I also forgot to bring my tweezers in from the other room, so you will have to just accept the extra brow hairs for today, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to use a flat shader brush. This is again a Zoeva. This is the Luxe Smoky Shader Brush, which is 234, and I'm going to use that shade which is called Sweet Rosé. I'm not a fan of the texture of this shadow. It is a beautiful color, like look at that, that is super pretty, but the texture of the shadow it's too soft. Like, I swatched it with my finger when I was doing the arm swatches for this product, and my finger just sank right into it and literally like pulled up, like it felt like half of the eyeshadow. That's very dramatic, and I know it wasn't half, but it felt like it. It was like a lot of eyeshadow, and I was trying to like frantically press it back in, and it looks horrible. But on the eye, it is so pretty. It's like, how would you even describe that? It's like a very light pink shimmer, I guess. More like a champagne, but yeah. Even just adding that extra little bit there, I picked up a little bit too much. That is really pretty. I shouldn't have added Clink, but I'm going to do it so that I'm symmetrical. So for Clink, I'm going to be using my finger to apply this. This is a very like hard shadow, and the product itself is like, it's kind of got like a little gold undertone, and then it's got red, I think, fine glitter, and then big chunks of sort of iridescent to gold flakes. So I'm putting a bit of that on the middle of the eyelid there, and then on the middle of the lower lid too. Oh, try not to get it into my eyeball. And that is it for the eye look. So I'm going to apply my liquid liner, which is going to be my Dolly Wink, and then I'm going to apply my mascara, which is the usual Heimish Dailism mascara, and show you the end result for the eyes. So here is how the eyes turned out. I don't mind them. I don't think it's amazing. I think that I would have liked it more if I didn't put that Clink on the middle, because I feel like it's not like it looks dirty, but it just doesn't look very cohesive. It looks like it's a weird addition. Everything always looks better with liner and mascara on, in my opinion, but I always like to show you guys what it looks like without it, because I am aware that some people may not wear as much eyeliner or have as many eyelashes as I do, or like the length of them, or whatever that may be. And so the focus really is on the eyeshadow and how good you can get it to look without covering it up with mascara. It's like anytime I see a beauty guru who does like a really like average job at makeup, they're like, I'm gonna put a huge eyelash on top of it, and you can't see it anyway. Oh my god. But yeah, this is how we turned out. I'm I reckon I'd say I'm 75% happy with it. Not something I would recreate again, but I can see the potential in the shades. Maybe not Clink. I don't know how I'm going to utilize that one whatsoever. So for blushes, I'm going to be using two of the Etude House Heart Cookie blushes. I'm going to be using PK01, which is Pink Salt. I'm going to be using this as a very broad application, and then I'm going to be kind of like amplifying it with number RD301, which is called Ruby Red. The red one I did choose because I'm going to be wearing a red lipstick as well, but I didn't want it to be like too over the top. So that's why I'm going to be using both of the colours. This gives me a really sheer sort of soft application. So I'm going to start out with the Pink Salt, and I'm going to be using my Zoeva brush again because I pretty much use, apart from the first powder brush, all of the other brushes are Zoeva brushes. This one is also so dirty. This is the 126 Luxe Cheek Finisher, and so I'm going to be going pretty hard into the pan. With these Etude House blushes, I don't know what it is, but they are like the best and the worst thing in the world. The best thing is that you get such a beautiful soft sheer application, like it's almost not there, and I love that. I quite honestly love the finish and the way that this looks, but you have to go hard to get that product out. Like, it's a hard blush, like it's very pressed in, and I feel like I'm using a lot of product to get this finish, but oh my god, I love this. Especially this color. There's this one and the peach one that I've used a lot recently, and it looks so natural. It looks just like my skin. I do feel like it's pulling a little bit of that foundation off because I can see a few more freckles over this side than I did before. However, it is a sheer application of this product as well underneath the Missha cushion, so I'm not super surprised by that. But I feel like I'll also be going through this powder really fast because I'm really digging deep to get into it. Then I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to lightly tap. The Ruby Red, because it is so much more pigmented, even though it is a harder, like physically harder blush, you don't need to, like, I can just use it like a normal brush, like just tappy tap. So what I'm going to do is I've done a really broad application of the blush, so sort of all the way around here of that lighter color. And then I'm going to put it just kind of like where the outer corners of my eye is, where it reaches just around about here, like just before the tip of my nose. I guess where the tip is, but not like the base of my nose. So I'm just going to plonk a little bit of that down there, and then do it on the other side also. So I'm just placing it in the same place, and then I'm going to go back in with the brush. Just make sure that it's like not got that much stuff on it. I put away the, oh no I didn't. Use the eyeshadow brush to clean your blush brush as well. And then I'm just going to blend it out. So I'm just going to go around the edge of where I placed the blush. Make sure that there is no harsh lines. If needed as well, what I like to do is either go back with the lighter color, grab that, and then just kind of blend that over the top. Or I like to go in, if I feel like I've got too much blush on and I want less, I will go back and do exactly that same thing but with the powder brush. So that would just kind of flick away any excess product and then just blend everything else out. And this is such a cute little look. It's quite intense, so if you're not really into a lot of blush, then sometimes layering the blushes like this can be quite difficult. The exposure is quite high. Hold on. It's not actually that high, it's just that the sunlight is doing its thing. There you go. And so it looks really, really pretty. I like it. This cheek is slightly further down than the other one, so I don't care enough to fix that. Then last but not least, I'm going to be using another product from the Rose Wine collection from Etude House. This one I have been using so much, you have no idea. And it is the lipsticks, obviously. This color I haven't used at all yet. It is the red. It is RD313. Don't know what it's called. I'll have to Google that. And I've been using, there's two other pinks and there's two other oranges that I have just been getting so much use out of, which really surprised me because they are a velvet collection. And if you saw my previous videos with Etude House, I have tried a few of the lipstick collections, and anytime that mentions the word velvet, they look atrocious on my lips. My lips are not pretty. They are really wrinkly. They are really dry. They are really flaky. As much as I try to take care of them, there are just some things that genetically are not going to happen for me, and that's going to be having beautiful plump lips. I also play the flute, so the muscles inside my lips get a workout on a day-to-day, very regular basis. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'll probably end up with like mad smile lines around here when I'm older from the embouchure. even though I try and keep it like really far down, whatever. So I'm going to be trying the red out today. Hopefully that looks good, 50-50, so let's have a try. I think I really like it. It does feel slightly dry, like the other lipsticks do as well, so when you apply it I can kind of feel a bit of a tug. However, it's not, yeah, I don't know what it is with this collection, but they are just so beautiful. Even on my dry, ratchet, wrinkly lips that nobody likes, even me, they look really nice. I don't think I'm smudging them on my also ratchet teeth. So in all, I already knew that I liked the formula. The formula didn't change for the last color I hadn't tried, and I really like this color. I feel like my eyes look like they could have done more today, but overall I'm happy with how this looks. I need to go fix this fringe because, yeah, not really digging this look today, and it won't do this by itself. Excellent, just what I wanted it to do. So I will be back and show you guys the full look. So this is the finished look. I think that it looks really pretty and I enjoyed using all of the products, even though some of them, maybe parts of them I didn't like so much. But yeah, in general I do think that it's a really pretty look, so I'm happy with how this turned out. I think that the blushes particularly are really nice. I like how they build up and I just really enjoy the way that they look on the skin. Like I said before with the lipstick, again, I know that I love the formula of these and the color is just gorgeous. The Rose Wine eyeshadow palette, I'm having mixed feelings because I don't know, I don't like how one of the shadows looks, but I don't think that that is a fair comparison. And again, I haven't used the eyeshadow palette enough by itself to judge it, whereas the lipsticks and the blushes I have used quite a lot, so I can say a little bit more about them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye!